What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some Iron Maiden at long last. I know it's been a while since the last one, ultimately just trying to juggle so many different things on the channel. Luca is going to take this opportunity to take the lap, which means I will take her seed for a tea holder. In any case, we're going to go back to Powerslave. We're going to listen to a tune that, when I decided what I wanted to react to when, reconnecting with Iron Maiden after a couple months off, I wanted to pick a tune that I didn't remember as well as some of the others, and it occurred to me one of the tracks from Powerslave I haven't reacted to is Back in the Village. And it's a tune, I enjoy it sonically, and what I remember sonically is that it's a faster tune, it's got a lot of energy. But lyrically, I remember there's a connection to The Prisoner, because there's a line about, not being a number and you're a name, which, relates to The Prisoner from The Number of the Beast. But ultimately, what I remember about the lyrics is at first thinking it's talking about war, because we're talking about, a shredded white flag and the bombs are falling, so it sounds like maybe it's just a brutal sort of war of attrition where, no quarter is given, no surrender is recognized, and it's just, obliterating some village. But then it's other lines about, the tables are on fire and the other people try to extinguish this inner fire. It made me think that it sounds like it's talking about maybe a place where people are kept and experimented on. It's the local government might be the one harming the people, not a foreign adversary. It sounds like like in V for Vendetta, one of the, experimental camps where they're, trying chemicals on prisoners of war. So it sounds something like that, but ultimately I'm not sure, the specific context of it, other than thinking that there is a connection to The Prisoner. So, with no further ado, let's listen. This is Iron Maiden from Powerslave, which is at 84? I'm trying to remember what year this is. I think it's 84, and the print is so ridiculously small, but I think that's right. So this is Iron Maiden from Powerslave, and the track is Back in the Village.
Turn the spotlights on the people.
that ending right as we got to it. Yeah, it's amazing. It's better than I was remembering. The Sonics were basically what I was thinking. It's that classic, like, fast, a new wave of heavy metal. Again, it's weird, like, someone who didn't follow metal until later years, that's never a phrase I heard until like 2016 or 2017. It's new wave of British heavy metal, right? So like, primarily I've come to understand what that early 80s, like, metal revamped kind of sound is like, but almost entirely through the prism of Iron Maiden. So again, I listen to some Judas Priest now, and I don't know, like, if they're considered because Judas Priest, I know, went through, and like Iron Maiden, I suppose, some different personnel changes, but ultimately, yeah, I do love the like classic early 80s Iron Maiden sound there. It does make me think, the guitar, like instrumental, like solo section, they get into a vein that I have called in a few different reactions, like Castlevania Iron Maiden, meaning like some of the guitar work, it just has this like classic, like gothic horror sort of sound to it, even though it's like in the context of an energetic like metal tune. So in that context, it made me think like, oh, this could fit really well in like a Castlevania game, which, if you didn't know, they take place in Transylvania, and you're trying to stake Dracula on avoid getting killed by his fellow vampires. So it's like a gothic horror type of game. And yeah, some of the guitar work in that instrumental section like really hit on that flavor, so absolutely love that. And yeah, it's interpretive, it feels to me, in that I have no doubt there's like a specific source or origin. It seems like the vast majority of their tunes come from something very specific. Sometimes it's something created by them, but oftentimes it's a historical episode, or it's a piece of literature, or some like religious idea that's a starting point for their songs. Like here, I don't know if I pick up on something clearly. Again, it sounds like it's both external warfare. We're talking about like a white flag which you put up to like cease hostilities, but it's been shredded to ribbons, and the bombs sound like they're still falling. So it sounds like active warfare, but then again, it feels like it's psychological, and there's some like, it feels like they're being used to test, some weapons or something malicious. And some people are trying to put out their internal fires, but they're burning brighter than ever. And so I'm not quite sure where it all comes together. I look forward to hearing anyone who has any insight in that regard. But sonically, just a peach of a tune. It's, when I went on this journey, which, I've said this in a few videos, but given that it's, several months since I've done one of these for Iron Maiden, I suppose it bears repeating. I knew who they were growing up. I was born in '80, so, as a single-digit kid, there were a couple kids in, like, my elementary school who had, like, Iron Maiden shirts. I was like, oh, that looks crazy, but, at the time I was listening to, like, some pop music. Eventually, in the early '90s, I got into punk rock and then techno, and so those became my main pursuits. So they were always like interesting, but an unknown, sort of at a distance. And then a buddy of mine, a skater friend of mine, who listens to all different kinds of music, including punk and metal and other, including classical music as well, like myself. But he was like, hey man, you're a historian, you're really into tunes that draw upon history or literature, whatever. You really should give Iron Maiden like your proper attention. I think you'd be really into them. And, he is a person of good musical taste. I was like, all right, you know what, I'll take that journey. So I bought, and he had mentioned to me that he thinks the phase with Bruce Dickinson, or the phases with Bruce Dickinson, were the ones that he has focused on. So it's like, okay, so that's what I'll do. So I bought Number of the Beast, and it was so good that I went on and bought Peace of Mind, went on and bought Powerslave, and so on, right up into the present with Senjutsu. So, yeah, I have very much enjoyed this journey, even if I'm always hesitant to, think definitively about what the lyrics are about. Again, some of these punk rock bands that you see I've been listening to for 25, 30 years, but Iron Maiden is like the last 6 or 7 years, so I'm intrigued by what I hear in a lot of their songs, and I have ideas about some of the lines, but I'm rarely confident enough to say I think, definitively this is what the song is about. And again, I think there's enough there that you could, interpret some of those lines in different ways, and unless there's a clear indication somewhere, you know, they said this is specifically what it's about, I feel like it's a reasonable exercise. In any case, I will try to keep up with the Iron Maiden reactions once again. There's still a lot of material on a number of the albums. Some of the early albums, I have done most of the songs. I think I've done most of the ones here. I've done Aces High. I've done 2 Minutes to Midnight. I've done Lost for Words. I've done Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. I think I've done Powerslave. So I think maybe I haven't done the Duelists and whatchamacallit. What is it? Is it Flash of the Blade? I can't read that. But yeah, I'll come back for those in the not too distant future. Luca, I apologize at this point. I do have to pick you up. But do let me know what you think of this. And again, I'm curious people's takes on the lyrics on this one, because I find them fascinating, even if I'm not sure how it all pieces together. In any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.